A competent manager that is disloyal will eventually ruin your business. Hi there, I'm Oti Benjamin, and we're reviewing the book Making It Big by Femi Otedola. This is day 5, and we're in lesson 4. What's lesson 4? Hire with caution and fire without regret. Listen, when you want to build a very sustainable brand, when you want to build something big, one of the things you must take into consideration is the way you hire and the way you fire people. And these two things must happen, because you don't just get people that fit in the role and office that would make the business go forward in one instance. You could get that, you could also not get it. So as long as you keep making progress, there must be some form of upgrade. There must be some form of setting standards for the company, and this has to do with a lot of hiring and firing. Now, if you're a small business owner, you may not have experienced what it means to fire somebody before. Maybe you've just seen it in a movie. You are fired. Why are you firing her now? But when your business starts expanding, when you want to give it a more professional outlook, there are some times you just have to fire without regret, removing every form of sentiment. So I have a friend of mine that decided to open a new branch of her business in another state, and one of the things she complained to me about is who is going to manage the previous state she was in before she moves. Now, like I said earlier, that if you're running a business where it's just you and you alone, you may not understand the technicalities that has to do with hiring staff. You will not know how difficult it is. It's difficult to hire somebody that has your interest in heart, especially at the management level. Of course, human beings, we are designed to be selfish and all. One of the most critical things that a business will face is the hiring stage, the recruitment stage, which has a lot to do with the growth of the company. You don't want to be in a place and your business is failing because someone is badly managing it. Now, as you grow bigger in business, you'll find out that the business requires an approach you give to a human being, because if you don't pay attention to some part of your body, the part of your body will die. It takes you loving your body to pay attention to your body. That's why you cannot hire somebody that is not passionate about the business, that is not loyal about the business, that does not have the interest of the business at heart. And there are 3 things in this book that tells us on how to hire. First of all is advertising. Number 2, through referrals. Number 3, through headhunting. Advertising is more or less like putting out the vacancy out there on social media or in a signpost, and people get to apply. You get to do your interview, which is not a bad form of recruitment. Secondly is through referrals, but where referrals has some hiccups in it, because people that refer people will refer people that they like, people that they know. And it's usually difficult for people to refer people that know the job very well, because this person wants his brother to work here, especially when the business is doing absolutely well. That is why, as a CEO or as a business owner that will scale through, your hiring process is very, very critical. You must read the body language, you must read the room, you must be futuristic, you must trust your instincts also to know someone's character. There's someone that will come into your office now. With the way the person is talking, you just know that this person has ulterior motive. When you read this book very well, especially in this lesson, you'll find out that Femi Otedola said that some persons would do extremely well in convincing you during the interview, but when the time for work comes out, you start hearing plenty talks, you start seeing sluggishness, because it's easy to talk than to do. So it is said that loyalty is a value, but competence is a skill. Now, you can train to be competent, but loyalty talks about your personal life and your personal ethics. You will wonder why Femi Otedola had 3 CEOs in 4 years and 7 CEOs in 10 years to push his company from where it was to where he wanted it to be. It's not because he likes to fire people or he hates people. But at a certain level of management, you don't just choose competence. Now, in one of the stories he shared in this lesson, was that one of his managers was pitching to his competitor behind his back to sell diesel to them. Now you can imagine that you have a branch of your business, whatever business you are running in a state, and you put someone in charge there, maybe the CEO or the manager, and he goes behind your back to sell the same product that you are selling to your biggest competitor in that state. Now you see what I'm saying here, that the competence is not just enough, but the loyalty, and loyalty is about someone that has your back, someone that has your best interest at heart. Now he defined what loyalty is for him here. Maybe I should read it for you so you see it by yourself. And it says, how does loyalty work? Loyal employees do not undermine you or the company. They don't badmouth or criticize you in front of others. When there are things they disagree with, they find a way of telling you privately. They watch out for you and the business. They go the extra mile to make things right. They never seek to take advantage of you or the system. Instead, they want to see how the company can grow, how you can position it in a better market, and how to cut costs. They are ready to forego their own comfort and privileges when necessary, and they place the company above their personal interest. So for him, hiring a loyal person is better than hiring a competent person, right? But if you find the two, which he eventually did in his current CEO of, which he eventually did in the man Mr. Akin, if you find the both of them in one person, I mean, that's like finding a soulmate, because finding the right CEO or the right manager for a business could be the same as finding a soulmate, because he has to understand the nature of the body, understand you as a person, understand the business, and have the best interest of the business at heart. So life is like a cup of water. When you pour it in the cup, you either decide how you pour it, or people decide how much you drink. And when people decide how much you drink, you may eventually drown. But when you're in control, you just get what is enough for you and what is best for you. See you tomorrow in day 6 as we take it more deeper. Ciao.